Welcome to Business Innovators Radio, featuring industry influencers and trendsetters sharing proven strategies to help you build a better life right now.
Hello and welcome to this episode of our show. This is your host, Keith Doherty. Today our special guest is top real estate agent Kimberly Woodard of Ebby, Halliday Realtors based out of Plano, Texas. Kimberly has been selling real estate in the Dallas-Fort Worth area for over 15 years, assisting hundreds of individuals with their real estate needs. She has also assisted many families transitioning to North Texas from other states and understands the dynamics of placing people in a new city. She holds an MBA in business management along with many real estate designations such as GRI, ABR, ePro, BPOR, and Realtor. During her real estate career, she has received many recognitions for her performance, including Dallas Magazine Top Individual Producer Award for the Dallas-Fort Worth area 2014, 15, and 16, Texas Monthly 5-Star Professional Award for the top 2% of real estate agents 2012, 13, 14, 15, and 16, and also recognized as one of Ebby Halliday Realtors' top agents in the firm of 1,800 agents. All right, with all that said, Kimberly, welcome to the show.
Thank you, Keith. I'm excited to be here.
And Kimberly, if we could start for our listeners, what led you into real estate? Was it something that you always knew you wanted to do, or did you maybe stumble into it?
Well, it was a passion that I developed as a kid. I grew up with a family that was in the mortgage business, and my dad used to take me as a kid to builder sites and properties that he was financing, and I just developed a passion of the architectural, the feel of homes, and after going through school and going through my master's program, figuring out what was I actually going to do with my life. And when I grew up, I got a little encouragement from my husband to pursue a career in real estate. It was something that, again, I had the passion for the homes. I loved people, and it was something I had the passion to work on developing my own business. So going on 16 years later, here I am.
Excellent. And do you think you can talk about what personal attributes, traits, or qualities you think have most contributed to the success that you've had in real estate?
Listening is a big attribute, and I do a lot of listening to my clients, listening to what they're wanting, listening to their, really I'm listening to their hopes and dreams for their homes, as well as their path for what they're hoping to accomplish. I've worked with clients where I've met them and maybe it wasn't the right time to buy at that moment for various reasons, but they still had this goal to accomplish and help them, get to that goal. And it was by listening to what they were looking for, whether it was more space. I'll go through a home with a client where they're ready to upsize, and I ask them, what are you looking for? What do you see in your current home you like, and what would you like to see in your new home? And so that listening aspect. And sometimes my clients don't even know really what they're wanting, even though they're talking to me until I show it to them, and they're like, that's exactly what I was envisioning. How did you know that? So listening is the biggest thing. Also, putting everything in perspective for my clients. And I always tell them to consider the other side. Buying and selling a home is a very emotional process. And whether it's their first home or their 10th home, people get very emotional into it. Whether they're selling that home, they develop family memories in that home, life experiences. Maybe they're transitioning. Maybe it's a move out of state. Maybe it's a divorce. Maybe it's, a loss of a loved one. But there's a lot of transition and emotion that goes into it. So when I'm working with both clients, I try and say, you just don't know what's going on the other side. So be calm, be patient in the process.
And do you think you can give our listeners an example of when these traits have played a role in your path towards success?
Well, I think every day. Like I said, I'm going into my 16th year, and I do it every day. I mean, every day that I encounter my clients, it's a very personal purchase, and it's usually there's emotion as well as it's usually the biggest financial purchase you make. In reference to, I would say, listening and trying to make everyone, happy. I just closed one today where the family just relocated back to Texas after not being here for 11 years. And it was a very emotional part and stressful for them because they were selling a home in another state. So there was trying to get that one done and hoping that the sellers on this side were understanding when we're having to rejuggle dates and closing. And then the people on this side that were selling were downsizing. So it was a lot of emotions going on. But at the end of the day, when we went to closing, the sellers came in and were just giddy and excited for the buyer, and the buyer was excited, and it was just a love for all at the end of the day. So it was just kind of putting everyone in perspective of we're all trying to accomplish the same goal.
Excellent. And I think, Kimberly, whenever somebody builds a successful business or throughout their career, a lot of times getting there isn't always easy. There's usually bumps in the road along the way. Can you talk about some of the adversities and trials that you've had to overcome in order to achieve your goals?
When I started out in the real estate market, I was young at that time. It was, for me, one of my first careers versus people tend to, in the past, it's been maybe their third or fourth career, so there's more of a mature, personal person, you see as a real estate agent. So going and talking to clients and having them put their faith in me, and as I mentioned before, buying a home or selling a home is typically people's largest financial investment. So having them entrust me with that responsibility, I needed to prove myself, show them what I could do for them, what I could accomplish for them, and that I could get them to meet their goal. I was very successful with doing that. I was the rookie of the year for my office my first year into real estate. And how I did that is I told them I was going to work hard and I was going to show them that I could do it. Since then, I've done a lot of repeat business. A lot of the clients that were my first clients have bought not just one home, but several homes with me, as well as their family has purchased through me and friends. And that's how I've built my business. And so I did have to, do a little bit, of proving, but it's been something that I like that. And it encouraged me to really get that jump start and really go full force into developing my business how I have.
And as these obstacles come up for you, what kept you going despite these obstacles? Why didn't you give up?
The challenge. I like a challenge, and I don't like to be defeated. And so it was that opportunity to prove to everyone else that I could do this and that I could become successful in it.
And Kimberly, looking forward, what's your vision for your business and your career over the next 5 years?
To continue building my business. I love what I do. I have a passion. People laugh at me because half the time people will say, oh, well, how many homes are you closing this month, or how many? And I don't look at that as a number. I look at it's John and Susie that I'm helping them find their home, and I'm working with, Phil here who is buying his first home, or Sandy and Tom that are, buying their fifth home and have just relocated back to Texas. I don't really put a number on my clients. It's a personal thing. So just continuing to grow my business to the next level is what I see, doing what I love.
And I guess kind of on top of that, Kimberly, what do you feel is the best way you market yourself as a real estate professional so that you can have continual growth?
I do a lot of different marketing. I've always appreciated my clients and my sphere that have supported me through the real estate to become where I am. So I always market and do things for them and send appreciations. I also do a lot of Facebook marketing. I think Facebook is a great way, a great connecting. It also shows to people a well-rounded person. People connect with people that have same interests, maybe that are going through similar things in life. Maybe they have kids. Maybe they, play, maybe this person is in different organizations. Maybe they play sports. Just that connection versus maybe a robot image. So I do a lot of Facebook, and that I do show people that I'm not just out there selling. I'm also a real person. I have a family. I do some other things outside, but they do know if they work with me that if they call me, they're going to get a call back. If they send me a text, I'm texting them right back. They know I'm always there for them 24/7.
And Kimberly, I think sometimes when the general public looks at real estate agents, they don't fully understand the value that they provide from both a buyer and a seller standpoint. What do you think the biggest misconception or myth people have about working with a real estate agent?
I think the misconception is people think that a real estate agent is all they're in for is the sale, and it's just a transaction for them. And that's not true. That real estate agent is not only, and I can speak for myself, I'm not only helping them with finding their home, but I relocate a lot of clients to the area, and I'm helping them with finding doctors. I've had where they've had kids, and the kids are going through this emotion of, I've just left everything I know in this one city, and I'm now in a new city, and I have no friends here, and very depressed. I've been able to connect them and have little organized play groups or, meeting type things with kids that are going to school at that school that those kids are going. So it's a connection. I guess I'm more of a connector of a whole bunch of different things, as well as a good referral base. My clients also are like, if I need to know anyone, or if I need a referral for anything, I call Kimberly because she knows everyone. So I think that's the one thing people don't realize, that when people get to working with an agent or myself, they realize that, they know I'm there for them, and I'm their realtor, their friend for life. I've developed a lot of great friendships out of, just meeting a client for the first time.
Okay, so I'll have to tap into those connections. Where can you get the Cowboys tickets from?
Let's see. I may be able to.
Yeah, surprising to a lot of people. I'm born and raised in New York, and we live in Florida now. But I've my whole entire life been a Cowboys fan, and it's crazy to a lot of people. They're like, "You're from New York. You have like all these choices," and I'm like, "I know, but I pick a good team." So
we're an American team.
yeah, there you go. So, Kimberly, let's say you get a call from a family member or a friend, and they're in another state, and they want to sell their home. Now, obviously, with your experience and your connections, you could probably look up an agent and do a referral. But from a general advice standpoint, what advice would you give them about selecting an agent that could best serve their needs?
Well, I've actually helped some of my family members with this task. In my current one, I actually went ahead and interviewed agents for them. I knew the dynamics of what was going on in their sale, and because it was a sale where it involved estate property, so there was going to be a lot of people involved, and I wanted to make sure that they had an agent that wasn't just knowledgeable about the marketplace in that area where the home was, but also could deal with the dynamics of several different personalities of people. And I did a great job. The person that they've hired is phenomenal, and he's been able to, manage not just them, but also keeping myself informed of, how things are going. And I always tell my friends and family that live outside that connection as well. Make sure you connect with that agent and the follow-ups that they're doing, and make sure that those things, anyone can put a home in MLS, but what else are they doing for you, keeping your home on top of mind as well, and just keeping you informed of what they're doing.
Excellent advice. And Kimberly, obviously based out of Plano, the general Dallas-Fort Worth area. And if somebody's looking for real estate services or an agent in that general area, what's the best way they can find out more information about you and how you can help them?
Well, they can always visit my website, kimberlywoodard.ebby.com, and they can also email me at kimberlywoodard@ebby.com, and they can call me. They can look me up on Facebook under Kimberly Woodard. and those are the best ways to reach me.
Excellent. Well, Kimberly, obviously we want to thank you for taking time out of your schedule to come here today and share all your professional real estate experience with all of our listeners. And if you're listening and you want to learn more about Kimberly, obviously you can go to her site. You can call her, you can email her, you can look her up online like she said. Also below this interview, we'll have a link to her site and any other contact information we have so you can see how she can help you with your real estate needs. So with that said, everybody, until our next show, have a great day and we'll talk to you soon.
Thanks for listening to Business Innovators Radio. To hear all episodes featuring leading industry influencers and trendsetters, visit us online at businessinnovatorsradio.com today.